Hello everyone, welcome back to my Let's Replay channel. Once again, this is Ranger T coming at you. And we're going to do the review of Jotun and Sword of the Stars, The Pit. Now, starting with Jotun, since that was the first one on my list there. Some good things about it. It was very stylized art. I've heard it was hand-drawn, and you can really tell with the animations and the actions of your character, how the way it moves. If you've ever seen like old 80s, 90s cartoons, you can kind of tell from the frames where it goes from one thing to the other. You know, it's got that hand-animated art style. The gameplay, if you're into just boss battles, like, you know, Hyper Light Drifter or Shadow of the Colossus, stuff like that, where it's just boss battles, maybe going through different areas, you know, with some gimmicks in between, in the Norse mythology, you're gonna like it. It's for its price, especially what I picked up, I think for $2.99 on GOG.com, maybe $3.99. It was definitely worth the price, but not necessarily one of the games that I enjoy. I could find fun in it if I just decide, hey, I'm going to try to do this, but it's not one of the genres that are totally up my alley. But for those who like that sort of thing, you would probably like, especially for the price. So I did a short playthrough of it, and you can kind of get the gist of it from there. You know, as you progress, the bosses probably get harder. You know, you got to recognize their patterns, you know, kind of figure out the best way to do it. And I can do that if it's a AAA game, like maybe Dark Souls 3 or something along those lines. But for a game that's just like a little top-down, you know, you have a guy run around. That's like Enter the Gungeon or something like that. I'm like, I enjoy different style of games than that. It wasn't unenjoyable, but I didn't really get anything out of it. So for my personal score, I would probably give it somewhere around, you know, probably around a 6.5. Just because it's a good game and it's decent mechanics, you know, decent art style, but it's not something that would just be like, I have to have it, or it's something that is AAA or will just blow you away. So, and it's not a bad score. It's above average, and it's good for the price. That's why it's around 6.5 instead of, you know, like a 6 or a 5. But it's nothing that's going to be... It does have the hand-drawn art style to kind of differentiate it, but it's not enough to really carry it. Especially with the gameplay and what I found just in the first level. Especially since there's no tutorial to speak of. They just kind of land you right there, and there's no buttons explaining what to do. I had to look it up, you know, what the buttons did. It'd be nice to know what your options are and what you need to do. But other than that, it was okay. That's going to be a short review for that one because it was a short video, and you know, I don't have any really interest in playing it anything after that, so I don't have any in-depth. But if you want to spend a couple bucks, I'd recommend it for that, just for a cheap, you know, alternative. You have nothing else to play. So going on from that, we're going to the replay game, which I had played before, of Sword of the Stars, The Pit. Now, I played that before because I like roguelikes that are done well. Think, you know, like Rogue Legacy or, you know, like Sword of the Stars, The Pit, or even, you know, Dungeons of Dreadmore, stuff like that, where, you know, it has elements of luck to it, depending on how the levels are laid out, but also has an element of skill, and okay, I know it's kind of laid out this way, but I have to, you know, my character's set up that way, and I have to kind of do a good job of managing my characteristics of my character along with what's in the levels and what I know I'm going to find. And after a couple playthroughs, you kind of get better and better and better at it. I never beat it, just because for one fact or another, even if I got really far and my character was pretty good, even with all the recipes I had to literally look up, because it takes forever to learn the recipes in this game. Even with all that, you know, some stuff I just couldn't find. I couldn't find ammo. I couldn't find armor replacement. You know, I couldn't find machines to help. So I would get so far, and then usually the enemies scale so much after every level once you get to the higher or the lower levels in this case, that it's just darn near impossible in some stages, because they're like, oh, this guy has like 800 hit points and you have a 45, you know, triple shot AK-47 or whatever, and, you know, 2 of your shots miss because he's so far away, and then he just bombs you. I'm like, oh, now my armor's taking a hit. And it's like, it's just stuff like that eventually catches up to you in the game. But if you have a really good run, it is very enjoyable. Plus the different characters that they give you for... I don't agree that they had all the DLC characters on top of that. I thought that should have been included in the main game. especially since they do give you a decent amount of characters for the main game, but since the idea of replayability is from the additional characters and how they played through the game, I thought they could have at least included it all, especially now it's been out a while. Maybe just like, you know what, just have it. Instead of, oh, maybe we'll get $1 here from this guy that wants to play the meta character. I don't get it, but either way, it's very enjoyable. It's really easy to get lost in. Plus, it's easy to stop playing, because you can stop anytime, save and exit, come back, pick up right where you left off. You don't have to worry about anything else. So in that aspect, I think I'd have to give it about a 7 out of 10, just because for the fact that the replayability is very, very, very high. And the roguelike aspect of it, how everything's procedurally generated for the levels, but there are things in each level that you can kind of tell, okay, these are enemies in here, here, and here, and this is character I have to kind of play this way optimally. But finding that out is half the fun. So without looking up any guides or anything, it is very fun to just play through. So other than that, this is the format I've chosen for my channel. I like to play 2 games, usually on the weekend when I have time. Make a good production out of it. I don't like editing my videos just because I think everything on YouTube is over-edited to some extent. Like, they have all this, there's some of the major YouTubers have professional editors literally working their day jobs just editing their videos, and if you mess up, mess up. Don't be so not subconscious. Yeah, maybe subconscious. Don't be so conscious of what you're going to look like if maybe flub a word or, something like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. If it's what you enjoy, do it when you want to, edit it as much or as little as you want, and just go with it. So that's all the channel is going to be. There's some pauses and when I talk, and there's some stuff at the beginning, at the end. You may see me just, stopping or starting the video. Does that take away from anything? I mean, everyone has a scroll bar on the bottom of the YouTube video. It's like, oh, it's going to take like a second or two. I'll just scroll over as soon as it starts. Even then, it's like 2 seconds. Who cares? Anyway, that's just my opinion. I don't know what games I'm going to be playing next week. I'm probably going to go through my Steam library and my GOG.com library. I did download Hotline Miami 1 and 2. Haven't played them, so that's going to be one of my newer games I play, and then I'll do another one for my second one as a replay. But that's just preliminary right now, so stay tuned if you want to see what I do next week. Anyway, this has been Andrew T. Thank you so much for watching the video, and y'all have a good one.